All right, y'all, we got something big that just happened right here. So, Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were killed, and State Senator John Hoffman and his wife were wounded in politically motivated shootings early Saturday, according to the governor, Tim Walz. Authorities have also identified a suspect who is still at large. Well, we're going to have to. I really, really hope and pray that they get him and they imprison him for life. So, Hortman, 55, and her husband, Mark, 58, were shot in their Brooklyn Park home, while Hoffman, 60, and his wife, Yvette, were shot about 5 miles away in their Champlin home. Champlin? I don't know, I haven't seen that or heard of that before. Investigators say they believe the suspect was dressed in a manner to appear like a police officer. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office says that the Hortmans each died from multiple gunshot wounds. Representative Hortman was pronounced dead at the scene, while her husband died at North Memorial Health in Robbinsdale. In a press conference on Saturday afternoon, Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans said that Senator Hoffman is out of surgery and stable, but described his injuries as very serious. His wife's condition is unclear. Hortman, who leaves behind two children, was a member of the Democratic Party who represented the 34th District of Minnesota, House District. Hoffman, also a Democrat, represents Minnesota Senate District 34. Hoffman and his wife have one daughter. A family member said Yvette Hoffman shielded her daughter from the gunman. At a Saturday morning press conference, Governor Walz called the deaths of Hortman and her husband a political assassination and has ordered flags to fly at half-staff in their honor. BCA identifies the suspect. Evans identified the suspect in the shootings as 57-year-old Vance Luther Bolter. He was last seen Saturday morning in a surveillance video captured by a Minneapolis business. Authorities have since canceled a shelter-in-place order for a 3-mile radius around Brooklyn Park's Edinburgh golf course. Let me see. So, Vance Luther Bolter. Apparently, this guy was wearing a light-colored cowboy hat, dark-colored long-sleeve collared shirt or coat, light pants, dark bag. Of course, those things will change at any moment, but the tip line information, 877-996-6222. Again, that's 877-996-6222. Bolter is described as a white man who stands 6'1", weighs about 220, and has brown hair and brown eyes. He was wearing a light-colored cowboy hat and blah, 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 and all that stuff. I just read that. Anyone with information on Bolter's whereabouts is asked to call 911, the BCA's tip line at that number I just read, or send an email to bca.tips@state.mn.us. Bolter is considered armed and dangerous. You don't say. The FBI is also offering a reward of up to $50,000 for information leading to his capture and conviction. Evans believes Bolter is likely trying to get out the area, and the Transportation Security Administration has been notified. Let's see. Police account of the shootings. Evans says Chaplin police first responded to Hoffman's home at about 2 a.m. with Brooklyn Park police assisting. There, they found Hoffman and his wife each suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. A Brooklyn Park police sergeant is said to have proactively decided to check on lawmakers in their city. Yes, do that. When officers arrived at the Hortman's home at about 3:35 a.m., Evans says they saw what appeared to be a police SUV with emergency lights on. The suspect, then clad in a blue shirt with a black tactical vest underneath and blue pants, exited the Hortman's home and exchanged gunfire with officers fleeing out of the back door on foot. A WCCO crew saw a vehicle believed to be Bolter's with white and yellow lights on top and a license plate that reads police. White and yellow? Correct me if I'm wrong. I thought this was an across the country thing. I thought this was every police department or every police car in the country. I thought all the lights were supposed to be red and blue lights. Do they have white and yellow in some states? I mean, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm thinking to myself, you see white and yellow, there should be no question that that's obviously fraud. That's fake. But again, if anybody who's watching this who's living in Minnesota, correct me if I'm wrong, do they have white and yellow lights? But I never heard of that until I'm just now reading this and I'm just learning that if that's true. Towed away from the Hortman's home. A number of things were also pulled out of the vehicle. Authorities say there was an extensive list of possible targets Among writings found inside the vehicle, more than 50 individuals were listed, including officials beyond Minnesota, abortion rights advocates, and abortion facilities. Well, here's what they need to do. They need to release the names of all those people. Well, matter of fact, let me take that back. You don't even do that. They need to reach out to all those people and let them know that they're going to protect them, put extra security around them. And by the way, I did a video a couple years ago telling Democrats, I said all Democratic officials need to get extra security. And I said that mainly because of the January 6th stuff. So every Democratic governor in this country, every Democratic attorney general, every Democratic secretary of state, every Democratic congressperson, every Democratic senator, state senator and federal senators, every Democrat representative, both federal and state, every Democratic city council person, every Democratic mayor, hell, every Democratic school board member, just everybody. Trustees, people that are on the Board of Education, the regents, the county officials, all of them. Just get extra security. Because you cannot trust this world that we live in today. Okay, so Amy Klobuchar had released a statement on it. Tim Walz had released a statement on it as well. So I'm going to do those in separate videos because I don't want this video to be too long. Apparently, former Representative Gabby Giffords also responded. So I'm going to put this stuff in other videos. And I do want to say that my heart is heavy for the Hortman family, the kids, anybody who was like siblings or cousins or close friends, family with Melissa and Mark. All I can say is my greatest condolences, thoughts, and prayers. And I hope they catch the guy who did this, and I hope he doesn't stand a chance in court. So that's it for now. Stay tuned.